it's all said and done, what will you be remembered for? Will your legacy be a remembrance of what type of car you drove, what type of home you lived in, perhaps how much money you had? Or will your legacy be one of where people remember you for what you've done for others? All the things I just mentioned previously will fade away. They'll pass. But what you do for others can be remembered for a generation. That's why we volunteer to make a difference in the lives of the communities we serve. Join the United States National Reserve Corps today to make a difference.
My name is Sergeant Major Paul Thompson. I'm the Communications and COIC for the United States National Reserve Corps here in Mobile, Alabama. If it talks on the radio, it has to come through me. Major Langley.
This is
something I built. This is an experimental package that if they lose their towers, they can go to the hospital building and set this up with antennas, which she has. Out of the way. No, this one too. Okay, lift it up. I'm trying to wind cable in there.
now, Sergeant Major Thomas.
Yes.
Is this something that is actually happening right now, or are you in the experimental stage of actually working it out right now?
Other agencies have these, but they guard them very closely because you can drop this and break it. I do it for less than the big companies, and they don't like that because it's how they make their bread and butter. So I don't really care. My job is to save lives. And if this is a few $100s and I get reimbursed, great. If I don't and it works, we're great. So right now, this will be going with Major Langley today, and he'll take it home, finish the kit, and ready to go. So right now, it's 99% good, and it does its job. So it's all internal. You can put solar panels on it, and you can just forget about it on your roof. So this is one of the roll-up antennas that will work the radio. You have to have two, or you have to have a duplexer. But this is a roll-up antenna. You just lay out, haul it up on the string.
It looks like a old UHF.
Well, it's actually ladder line that somebody cut. I have them made for me from a guy in Ohio, and it's the proper length for UHF and VHF. It's got resistors and coils, and it's loaded, and this will handle 60 watts. And with that black base station there that's in the middle, it'll transmit up to 30 miles.
So when the weather gets to be where it is, or there's a disaster,
Yeah.
this digital era of communications we had, it goes down. We go back to the old analogs. 'Cause that's what this is basically, the old
Basically,
analog.
yes, this is analog, some digital, but the thing is when everything goes through the internet towers and you're down, it's down. And when you can't even use your cell phones, like some of the new 800 megahertz radios, those are on frequencies that are cell phone frequencies. And when you lose it, you're out of work. So what this does is this bridges the gap until somebody figures out what they want to do. So this is a working Band-Aid that can stay in service for up to a month.
Now, why only a month?
Well, hopefully you've got the professionals come in that will either repair it or replace it and keep it running. If not, it'll go longer. You just have to check on it every so often. Make sure you don't have cockroaches living in it. I tried getting straight answers from the guys who sell these. How much weight will it lift? And they gave it to me in milligrams. I hate math. So I started doing the translation, and they said it'll do £1.25 pound for how many balloons? Well, he didn't know. Great. So I bought 3 balloons. We lost one to an angry dog, and not my dog. And we got them up there, and it works very well. And we're just solving problems of run out batteries. One of the knots untied, they came crashing down, but we're back on the air.
This particular scenario and exercise that we're doing right now, they're having a lot of issues up north. The towers are going down, the electricity's going down.
Yep.
Okay, in a situation like that, what exactly would you do?
Well, we'd have to wait for the wind to stop blowing above maybe 10 miles an hour, because it'll just blow the balloon away, even if it's tied to the ground. We have to wait for everything to settle, and then we can come in and we can use this network or a similar one that we can mount or put on a rooftop. As long as we can get 100 feet up, we have 13 to 18 miles distance. And so we have the tools, and I've been designing these with the batteries. This is our first time really using this, so it's killing us. We dropped it earlier, that's why it's got the tape on it. It fell from way up high. Watch yourself, you're in the way. Coming up, you're at by. Oh, there you go.
All right, now as it's going up, I want you to explain to me the different components.
This is a pocket repeater. It's a mobile repeater unit. So if you're in an agency that's lost their tower, we can get them up on the air. Now it's only got handheld radios in it, but we have another system that'll do 60 watts that's more efficient to put on the rooftop. So we've got the backup for what the agency may need to be on another system to where they've lost their towers. Like in Joplin, Missouri, when they had their tornadoes come through 3 in one afternoon, they lost every tower. This gives the ability to put a tower back up on the air. Even if it's 6 or 8 watts on a radio, it'll still bridge the gap until they can get other equipment they need back up.
Now, is this for a walkie-talkie,
This is
a
for
shortwave radio?
No, this is for UHF, VHF type radios, that any agency that's got a frequency that's usable for EMA will work with this. And so this is what it'll do. So it's the first generation because we've been working with it and experimenting, and Major Langley has been a great help with this. And General Bone funded the money for the helium tank, and now it's up in the air. It runs off of, as we saw how quickly those batteries drain. Okay, so this will run that little battery, the little radio all day. It plugs into the back of this Bofang's ass dog. Okay, this plugs into this that runs this. Okay. This is a 60 watt output base station.
Okay.
So you'll get all kinds of miles out of it and stuff. Okay. This has got, I think, it'll take 120-bit memory, but you don't need it, or 120 station. It's got stations in it for here in southern Alabama, and it's got some of your stations there in Opelika. It's got, okay. It's got, okay. It's got, if you want to run the SMR repeater, you can, that's us. There's Opel EMA, MMRS that was on your sheet. Okay, Med Center, LC EMA, Opelika RPR, receive, okay, and then T for transmit. This will be the transmit. And so when you have the radio in this and the repeater working, you click transmit, you'll send it right over and right out. You don't need a duplexer for this. You just have to run 2 antennas. Okay, so I've given you an extra one of these. You have one with your kit.
Right.
And that's how it works. That's simple. And if you have to use the roof of your hospital and part of the tower's still left, you can get just some 2x2s that are 8, 9 feet long, put them through the broken struts, and just hang your lines on them as long as they're 10 feet apart. And you shouldn't have any bleed over.
There will be no descents and...
You work with what you got. If you have to take them a little further apart, you get another piece of cable. I don't have any more to give you. I'm tapped out right now. Get another piece of cable, separate them, and then you won't have any bleed over. So that is a rap, as they say in Hollywood.
Now, what were you saying about when you're connecting here and everything you see through your computer system?
What do you mean?
You were saying that.
I can see the program. I have to send him a screenshot of the program.
Okay.
Because for me to just try to email the program to him may not come across right.
Okay.
It may be corrupted, where if I send him just a photograph, it takes all the decision away.
Okay.
Of any mistakes.
It's just the numbers. Now you got to. Do you have to actually plug in the numbers
He's got
manually?
a program that's for that style radio, and I have the programs here.
Okay.
So he can load that information separately, or I can send a radio with him in it, and then he can download that radio into his system, send me back my radio, and then he's got it for his radio.
And
Kind of using the radio as if it were a thumb drive.
Right. Now, basically, right, because now what happens, you both got the same thing, and you're communicating on the same channels.
Yeah.
And it's actually programmed proprietary for.
Yeah, for our special mission. So this is
special
what
mission.
I've done, is I've gone through the list of old and abandoned frequencies from other agencies because of Wi-Fi. They took it away, people stopped messing with it, because
Right.
we have cell phones. Okay, so in the advent of we don't have cell phones, we have these abandoned frequencies. This is a noise you hear from time to time because somebody's Wi-Fi is reaching out to you.
That's right.
So basically, we're borrowing those until we actually are considered a valid unit and get some real frequencies. Until then, we feel like gypsies. We're stealing what we can.
Now, those real frequencies that you're talking about, will they be the micros, or will they be what kind of bandwidth?
They would be regular UHF and or VHF.
Okay.
They wouldn't be 800, 900 because even though FEMA uses those, they prefer to be in the lower bands because everybody can hear it, everybody can use it, and when there's an emergency, all rules are off and you can use what you need to use. These are two pieces of this.
And in our jurisdiction, we only have one agency that uses the 800 megahertz radio system.
Yeah, by law, right now, right? But that's it. By law, yeah, just one. Okay.
And so it's a trunking system. That, you know, it's kind of hard to tap into that, but all the rest of them use VHF.
United States National Reserve Corps, Communications Director.